Hey everybody, my name is Beck and thank you so much for clicking on today's video. It is my 37th week recap of pregnancy. Things are starting to progress and I'm going to review everything that we got up to this past week, my first week of maternity leave. So if you like the sound of this video, please give it a big thumbs up. It really does support my channel. Don't forget to hit subscribe and tap the bell to get notified. So let's get into the week that was. This week started like most weeks with an obstetrician appointment on Tuesday, so let's get straight into it. Today's a little different because Mick is coming up to my appointment. So this morning we had Amira's prep interview, which was really exciting, and Mick just decided to take the rest of the day off. Driving up to visit my doctor is getting to me. I get really tired by the end of the day. So Mick is helping me out by coming up with me. Unfortunately, he still can't come into the appointments. And it is my first appointment that I'm having to wear a mask for. Because of where we're living and where we're traveling to, part of the plan that they've got in place for protection is just the fact that I have to wear a mask, which is fine, no big deal. So we're gonna go head up to the doctor's now, hopefully grab some lunch, maybe do some Father's Day shopping. But my next video after this one will be a video on how we chose a school for Amira. So obviously being a primary school teacher, that impacts our decision, and Amira and the person that she is impacts the decision as well as the future kids, because we're not going to send each kid to a different school. So stay tuned for that video. That will be the next one, is how we picked a primary school. So let's head up to the doctor's. We're at the hospital now and it's time to put the mask on. So Mick is going to stay here because he can't come in for the consult. But thankfully I'll be able to film so you guys get to see and Mick gets to see. And then we'll come back and hopefully have a better understanding on how labor and delivery is going to go, just because if I have to wear a mask, that's going to be really unfortunate.
Nice little head down.
Yay. What are we looking at?
Like, that's an eye socket.
And those are hands.
Yeah, those are hands up in front of the eye socket.
Oh, good
Hang
job,
on,
Bob.
let me do the dinosaur view. So Beck's back's over on this side. That's not very good. So spine's here.
Excellent.
Yeah, not very photogenic today.
He doesn't
There we
want to
go.
cooperate.
No. She's very contrary today, this child. Nah, there you go. That's what she's like, there's a bit of a face, but it's a bit scary.
After my obstetrician appointment, I was physically and mentally exhausted. I don't know if it was because of Amira's prep interview in the morning and then having the appointment all the way up at the coast. It is quite a long drive, but I ended up sleeping in the car on the way home, and thankfully Mick then helped me with the nighttime routine. Otherwise, I don't know how I would have gotten through that. The next update is on Thursday when I went to get my tests done. I had to go get tested because I am 36 weeks and they test for GB, I think it is, or strep or something like that. I'll put it down here, what I got tested for. But I do have homework, and that homework is to get a blood test. So I'm gonna get that done today, this morning, straight up, and then I'm going to catch up with a friend as a treat because I really hate needles. And I know with pregnancy, you kind of just have to go with the flow because you get pricked so many times for so many different things, especially with the glucose test. It's still nice to treat yourself. Hopefully my doctor will get the results for my next appointment and my final appointment, which is really cool. I am totally getting to the stage where I am ready for Bubby to come out. I am still anxious about labor and I don't really want to go through labor, but at the same time it would be so nice to meet this bub, find out whether it has been a boy or a girl this whole time, and just to start life as a family of 5. So let's go get the blood test. If you haven't watched my gestational diabetes test, you can click on the link above after this one or in the description box below. But I always go to the same place to get my blood test done because I really trust the ladies here. And I've got a frequent flyer card which has all my details on it. I've got my documentation, so all I have to do is take these 2 things in, get my blood test, and then I can go out for a special treat. So my phlebotomist was a little bit chatty, which is absolutely fine. It made the experience better. She was just telling me about her experiences having newborns and all those sorts of things. So I am running a little bit late for my coffee catch-up, but it was an overall really good experience, and like I said, that's the reason why I keep going back to the same place. During this week I ended up getting 2 tests done, which I will get the results back for on Tuesday when I go for my obstetrician appointment. If you have been following our journey, you know that iron has been an issue for me, and I have been taking iron supplement tablets. So hopefully my levels are fine, but if not, that's the whole reason why you get a blood test, is to figure out what are the deficits and how can the staff provide what your body needs to get you going through labor and for the recovery afterwards. For me personally this week, physically, I have really been trying to slow it down and to listen to my body and to recover from this stupid cold that I've gotten, because I don't want to be going into labor feeling sick at all. I still have a bit of a nasal drip, but I did look up online what are the natural ways of getting rid of phlegm and mucus. So I've been making sure that I keep hydrated, even though my pelvic floor really is starting to be strained at the moment. I am making sure that when I'm going to bed, I have my diffuser on and I've just got some eucalyptus in there just to make sure that the air is moist and that I'm trying to keep my nasal passage as clear as possible. And other than that, I have just been sleeping a whole heap whenever I can, just to make sure that my body is recuperating from working full time up until last week. This week we have had a couple of scares, I guess you could say, about me going into labor. I've had an increase of Braxton Hicks, especially during the night. When I went to my obstetrician appointment, this was a question that I did ask her, and she said it was completely common and that it would be a worry if my body wasn't getting ready with Braxton Hicks contractions. And at night time, it's just because you are more fatigued and you've had a busier day that your body will kind of get into those moves and grooves. Over the weekend, however, I was getting more Braxton Hicks contractions and lower back pain and period type of pain, and that was definitely a little bit alarming for me personally. The thought of going into spontaneous labor really does freak me out, because we have so many pieces of the puzzle that need to get organized for us to go to the hospital with peace of mind. So over the weekend we have nested quite a bit to make sure that we are ready to go if anything were to happen in this next coming week. We've got our baby swing all set up. We've set up our pram to make sure that the 2 seats work and that the baby capsule fits, because we've upgraded our pram. Stay tuned for that review. We found out that our baby capsule actually doesn't fit in the car. So a job for the coming up week is to go to the car shop to grab a seatbelt extension, just to see if that will help with getting the capsule to be all safe and above board in the minivan. During the week I also made some lactation cookies to make sure that when the time comes I can get them out, put them in the oven, cook up a batch and take that to the hospital, because I know for me personally those really do help with my milk supply, and that will be a question that I will be asking my obstetrician appointment this coming week, is chatting to a lactation consultant just to make sure that my breastfeeding journey goes as smoothly as possible for bub number 3. Bub's development this week, they have definitely dropped lower into my pelvic region. I am getting more sleep cycles out of them, which is really great. I am not getting as much kicking and hitting, and I'm getting a very lopsided belly and just very intentional movement that is unmistakably a baby. You can tell that they are inside my stomach. I'm not just fat, it is a bub. My belly button has officially stretched out. It's not gonna pop, but it is smooth and flat, and my stretch marks have grown a little bit this week, which is fine. But that's it for my pregnancy update. Stay tuned for next week because we never know what is gonna happen between now and then. I would definitely be saying that this bub will come before 40 weeks because things are starting to feel real now. Thank you so much for your love and support through this pregnancy journey. It has been a wild ride. If you have enjoyed watching this video, please give it a big thumbs up. It really does support my channel. Don't forget to hit the red subscribe button and tap the bell to get notified so that if bub does come early, you'll get notified when that video becomes live, because this parenting gig doesn't come with a rule book. We only have each other. And I'll see you in my next video.